Hello, AEC Universe, and welcome to a very, very special episode of the Animated Apparel Company. Today, I'm interviewing the amazingly talented Rei Kennex, the actor who played and co-wrote the Ahsoka fan film Fulcrum that just released just a few days ago on Friday. We're recording this Monday, and it just came out Friday. Before we get any further into Rei and what she has to tell us, of course, this is going to be packed with spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, hit the link in the description right now. That's going to take you over to the Fulcrum film. Check that out and then come back and get to know Rei a little bit, hear some stuff about the film. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm sorry. And one other thing before that, help keep the lights on in this place, of course, and head over to animatedapparelcompany.com. Use offer code Joey. You'll get 20% off everything in your cart. After all of that, let's go ahead and jump into this. So like I mentioned, we have Rei Kennex here today. Rei, thank you so much for returning and discussing the super awesome work of art that you've created.
Sure, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me again.
You bet, you bet. The film has nearly 28,000 views. Multiple channels have done a ton of reviews on this, a ton of reactions. We saw on your Instagram, people were going nuts about it. Tell me what your experience has been from the community and the support that they're giving you so far.
Well, the community is incredible, and I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of good reviews and messages that I got, and everyone seems to like it and enjoy it. And I'm not talking about a few people who did not like it, because the overwhelming majority, I'm so happy, they received it very well. I understand that there will be some people who will not be completely satisfied with what we've made, and I'm genuinely okay with that. But overall, all my friends and my followers on social media and some people that I don't even know, everyone has been sending me very nice words, very kind compliments. And so I feel very loved, and there's nothing more rewarding for an artist than to see their creation being accepted and understood and enjoyed. So I guess this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to create something for this community, to give back, to bring a little snippet of the beloved character to life. And seeing that what we have envisioned has resonated with so many people, it's just beyond incredible. I've made the subtitles in 8 languages so far.
Oh, wow.
And again, thank you to those people who helped transcribe everything and translate it. So I'm hoping that people all over the world can enjoy it, even though they might not speak English. But I'm just doing my best so that even someone who loves Ahsoka but doesn't understand English can still watch it.
Definitely. And Star Wars, the community, I have to say, is probably one of the hardest communities to please. And your film has a 98.8% like to dislike ratio. Of the 50 people that did dislike it, they're probably all bots anyways. So I want to say this is 100% like from everyone in the community. For me personally, it was crazy awesome. And with so much great feedback from the community, does it inspire you to make more Ahsoka content or Star Wars stuff in general?
Oh, definitely, because the moment most people see it in front of me and they turn to me and they say, can you make another one? We want more. Can you make more?
Right after.
Right after, because I understand 5 minutes is so short and you just get teased with all of those snippets and bits. So of course you want more. And right. Definitely I'm not gonna stop now that I see that how I feel about how I visualize my ideas about Star Wars with my team and how we do it. I see that it has found the place in people's hearts, and that gives me, of course, much more confidence now moving forward to do something else. Because, you know, when you're tackling such an important character as Ahsoka, the one that's one of the probably most favorite characters in the fandom, and people are so fiercely protective of that character,
oh, yeah.
How they see her and what they want her to be or to do or to say. Of course, you have to take a certain risk doing that, especially not having the resources that the big companies have. But, you know, we're artists, we cannot not do it. We're
right.
Too passionate not to. And even if one person watches it and it makes their day, it's worth it already. So people who did dislike it, I don't take it too hard. I understand I can't please everyone, and that's fine. And so, as long as there are those who watched it and smiled and they saw something that they found dear to their hearts, that's all that matters to me.
That's right, and I think that's probably the heart of Ahsoka. That would probably be the same way, just to keep fighting past the odds, to keep looking forward. And you've definitely got the Ahsoka heart for sure. Let's go ahead and get into some questions about the casting and the location. So you've mentioned on our last interview that was on the Weekly Geek that the 501st members played nearly all of the troopers and the Mandalorians. But when it came to Captain Rex and Obi-Wan, what went into finding the people to play those roles?
Well, it wasn't very hard because we all know each other here in this community locally in Los Angeles. So I've known both of these guys for a while, for a few years. And Brand, who played Rex, and Josh, who played Obi-Wan, both of them I've met several years ago. And I knew they're incredible. I knew they're talented. Their costumes are so spot on.
Oh, they were. I thought you had Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan.
Well, you know about Josh. Josh is an actor. He's very talented because Brand is not. It's just for fun. But Josh, who did play Obi-Wan, he's a very talented actor. Mm-hmm. And it was, again, another risk. It probably was the riskiest thing we did with this trailer, to show Obi-Wan, to have him speak to Ahsoka. And Josh is just insanely good. He nailed everything, and I think it was just the best decision we've made.
Right.
Seriously, because the way he held himself and his voice was on point. And when we were filming this whole sequence, it all felt so real to me. It really felt like Obi-Wan was there, and he just carries that spirit, that presence of him.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that not a single person said anything negative about it, because again, we also used to seeing Ewan McGregor in this role. About that age, that's what I'm talking about. And no one even said even remotely negative thing about it, and it's such a cool thing, because they accepted this Obi-Wan, and it was like, yay, we did great.
Right. Obi-Wan is probably, up there. Well, I would almost say he's probably the number one character that is so hard to touch. He is so protected by the community. He is so endeared by the community that that was a risky move. But from the front, and oh my gosh, from the side, when he kind of looked to the side, or when the camera was to the side, it was so crazy how close you got to the Obi-Wan. So props to the actor, and that's awesome that he was so local that you were able to put him in the film.
We were just lucky that he was around and he was down to doing this.
That's awesome.
So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. And so with the characters, did you play any extra characters when it came to the film? And I asked this specifically because I know you do an Eden Verso cosplay, and in the credits, I know it's credited. I saw it when I did my reaction that Eden played Eden. And so I got to know, were you the Eden that played it? And did you play any extras that maybe I and maybe others missed?
Yeah, that's Iden also.
Iden, I keep saying Eden. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. And so it's Iden, and maybe.
All right.
I can't neither confirm nor deny that.
All right.
Special forces and Iden's real true identity cannot be revealed.
That's perfect then. I'll take that answer then. So with the characters, having all of these people together, how many different locations did you shoot? And just with the amount of characters that you had, was it difficult getting the amount that you had to each location? Because I was going to count it out, and I'm thinking you probably had at least 6 to 8 different spots. So
we had 12 locations.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, and we broke most of them. We broke them in separate days.
Gotcha.
So everyone who was supposed to be at a specific location had to only come there that day. So it wasn't too hard. And did
y'all film? I'm guessing in the California area, or did you have to go a little bit further to get some of the shots? Because you had desert shots, and you had forest shots, and you had beach shots. So it's like you had all of it kind of in one. I guess California is well versed enough to do all of that.
Oh, there's a reason why the filmmaking capital of the world is in Los Angeles.
That makes sense.
Because you can find everything around here. So yes, we shot everything in Southern California.
Gotcha. And more shooting stuff. Was there anything done in a studio? I think there was probably just that one scene at the end that was in the studio, or was there other pieces that were in
There was one studio shot, the spaceship.
Yes, that kind of last scene before the title. Gotcha.
It was that one, and it was also in the teeny one in the cockpit of the spaceship.
Oh, that's right. The stars are kind of flying by. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, so it's just that little thing.
Gotcha. So then the cave scene where Ahsoka kind of looks up into the light, that one specifically was so beautiful. I would say it's probably my favorite part of the film. That scene, that area where she looks up and the blue glow is coming down on her. So I want to know a little bit about that scene because it's my favorite. So did you know of that location while writing the story, or is this something that maybe your producer came up with when you had the story written and y'all were kind of writing it together? Or tell me a little bit of background for that.
Okay, so for that, this is how the whole idea for the film started for me. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to show a little snippet of Ahsoka cleansing the crystals and making her lightsabers and becoming fulcrum. That's basically all I wanted to do. And
you had the idea. You had it running.
That was the idea. But then, you know how it goes. I started talking to my co-writer, director, Jason, and we're like, well, you know what, we could do a little bit more. Maybe we could also show this part. Well, and then she makes sabers. What does she do with them? So let's get some stormtroopers. And well, we need a rebel now. And then, well, she needs a team. So how about a Mando or 2 or 3? So
they just all kept coming together and just.
And then our Rex has to be there, of course.
Of course.
And then this whole story grew. Yeah. So the cave was the very first thing we needed to find.
Okay.
And the whole beginning of the film started with the cave scene. Mm-hmm. So we wrote that first. We didn't have a place in mind, so we just wrote it as there's a cave. So Ahsoka goes into the cave, and that's where.
Gotcha.
Then we were looking for caves, and thankfully there's so many around here. And I'll give you a little secret. That was 2 different caves that we shot it in.
Oh, I see. So the second one was probably a little bit more open, allowed for more of the equipment in there, or just it looked better?
We barely had anything in there. There was just a camera and
oh, wow.
a little light. Yeah. Wow. So most of it was shot with daylight.
That's awesome. That's really great. And so you mentioned a little bit about Fulcrum. And so for the more well-versed Star Wars fans, naming the film Fulcrum was an excellent choice, and it's a great callback to Star Wars Rebels, of course. Explain to fans why you went with Fulcrum and the meaning behind it. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, for those people who don't know Ahsoka's backstory very well, it might have been a little bit confusing, but Fulcrum is Ahsoka's code name as a rebel agent, because she couldn't reveal who she was, so everyone knew her just by that name. And she came up with that name while looking out at Alderaan from the spaceship, and that's when she got this idea of being called the tipping point, like the balance. That's what Fulcrum is, and that's the scene we showed in the film too, where she's looking at Alderaan and she turns, and that's what it hits her. That's what I need to be. I'll bring balance in a way to this world.
So she was kind of the tipping point and towards the balance is what where that Fulcrum comes from.
That's why it's so meaningful. And then after that, in Rebels, Agent Kallus takes over and he becomes Fulcrum. So it's like becomes a symbol of rebellion in a way. This Ahsoka's symbol that's on her marking. So yes, I think it was just the only choice for the name for this, because the whole story was of Ahsoka coming out of hiding, meeting the rebels, understanding that she's still needed. There's some things she can still do, and rediscovering her new identity with new lightsabers and having a new name and a new purpose. And that's why it's Fulcrum.
Gotcha. So now that we've kind of covered some things about the film, I want to talk about you in Star Wars, you and your cosplay. So September 25th, 2016 was a big day for you, as it was the first time you had ever done cosplay, and you attended NerdBot Con. I did some
true.
homework, did some homework
You
on
did.
this. So you chose to do Rey Skywalker from The Force Awakens, the Desert Rey look, and you said on that Instagram post from that day that the guys from the 501st gave you their seal of approval, and you just thought that was well worth the time that you took to build the costume. So all the way back then in 2016, it seems like you were doing some top-notch things and the community was already taking notice of it. So tell us why you decided to do Rey, and have you ever looked back to that day and thought, if that cosplay had flopped, would I have continued doing the projects that you're doing now in Star Wars and your cosplays? And I mean, inevitably we might not have gotten this film. So what are kind of your thoughts, and tell us that backstory a little bit.
Okay, well, yes, so why Rey? Because Force Awakens was the movie that inspired me to cosplay in the very first place. I saw it in the theaters, and it's so funny because I loved Rey's triple buns hairstyle.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed that, oh my goodness, that's going to be iconic. I need to do that. I love that hairstyle. And then I looked at the whole thing, and first of all, I loved the movie and loved Rey in it. And then I noticed her whole outfit, and I thought, you know what, this is so fresh, but so Star Wars. And it looks like maybe I could just make it for fun. So I started researching, and I found some pictures and videos that people were uploading online just as a research material. And I started collecting fabrics. I found the boots and everything. So I put it together. And then I just said, okay, what do I do now? I have the costume. I need to wear it somewhere. Where do you wear your costume?
Right.
So I started researching, and I remembered, Comic-Cons.
Heck yeah. That's the number one place to do it.
Exactly, because I only visited a Comic-Con, I think once or twice, just as a visitor, because I wanted to meet some artists, so I just went as me. And I completely forgot about the cosplay part of it. So so let's Google. And it was my first year in Los Angeles. So I didn't know anything about comic conventions around here, nothing. I didn't know anyone. It was just all brand new to me. I wasn't even yet acting.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't even. Yeah, so I researched, and I found that the nearest convention would be in Pasadena, would be a Nerdbot Con, and it looked like it was not too big and comfortable to go to without knowing anyone. So I did, and I was just overwhelmed because it was so amazing. I met so many incredible people and so much talent in there. I met the 501st Legion, and I didn't know anything about them either. I just knew they were awesome, and they were a charity organization who get to do Star Wars and do charity. I'm like, okay. So I talked to them, and they said, we love your Rey. You need to join Rebel Legion with that costume. I'm like, what is that? So they told me all about it, and I joined it. And that's how it all started. I think I had so much fun. And even like I said, if the cosplay flopped, I think I did it for myself then. I just wanted to wear it, and I wouldn't care what anyone else would say. I just wanted it for me. I made it, why not show it? But at the same time, I think it was so fresh then. There were not that many Reys. And it definitely attracted attention, and that's how I met a lot of people on the very first con. Like one of my oldest cosplay friends, Chelsea, she also did Rey on that day, and we're still friends since then.
That's awesome to have two Reys there to kind of experience that all with.
Now there's a lot of Reys.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I mean to be kind of by your side while you're doing this first cosplay at the con.
Yeah, it was very, very much fun. And so I fell in love with it. I thought, you know what, it's a great hobby, and it's a great way to spend your free time, to express your creativity, and also occasionally do some charity with it. So it's a win-win. And that's how it started. And then that inspired me to actually do acting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, one of the things, not the only thing. But
so it was like filmmaking first, and then cosplay, then acting, or?
No, it was music first.
Oh, music first. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I had a different background. It was nothing to do with creativity. It was very academical, international relations and stuff. So then I switched to music. And then I think The Force Awakens was the final push that I was like, you know what? I want to do stuff like this. And I don't care how long it's going to take. I want to learn how to do it, and I want to do it. So acting was the next thing. And I felt so, I don't know just how to describe it, so elated to be Rey and to act as her and pretending and all of that, and pictures and videos. And that's when I decided, okay, you know what? I want to play those characters. I want to be a professional actor. And then as I was doing my school for acting, I fell in love with filmmaking as on a whole. So not just to be a story. Yeah, but I learned more and more about the process, about storytelling, about writing, about directing, cinematography. And after I graduated, I had this whole vision, like, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is my place in this world. This is the ultimate sweet spot. So I'm not just the actor, but I can also make my own stories, my own films.
Yeah, you can kind of do it all. And that's what you did with Ahsoka.
Yeah, original stories are great. I love them, but of course, I could not touch my favorite characters.
So that is your favorite character. Ahsoka is definitely your favorite character.
Well, Anakin is my favorite, but okay. I don't think I'd make a good Anakin even if I tried.
You could do the like a female spin-off of Anakin. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but I'm not that good. No.
Well, even from the start, doing cosplays, with that being the first one, you were hitting cosplay pretty hard, pretty spot on. And your Instagram bio even says it itself, as you're taking these characters and making them come to life. I've said that in this interview before and our last interview, that you just have this talent of taking these characters and just making them truly who they are.
Thank you.
You bet. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's my cosplay specialty. You can call it, because everyone has their specialty when it comes to cosplay. Somebody is amazing at making armor, somebody is great at wigs or dresses or whatever it is. For me, it's more about the spirit of a character. So I think my best cosplay trait is feeling the essence of the character and then channeling it. Well, that's because it's acting. That's what it is. Right.
Yeah. It kind of cosplay. You just take it all those with the creating and then the acting. You just take it all together and make it the character.
Yeah, it's very interesting because you get to not just recreate the look of a character. To me, it's what's more interesting is to dig into their personality and understand what makes them who they are.
Definitely.
And getting that spirit across. So even if I don't necessarily look like somebody or the costume's not perfect, it can still feel like the character.
Right. I like that that kind of philosophy that you have for it. So with kind of backing up a little bit, you were talking about The Force Awakens. Was that your introduction to Star Wars, or was Star Wars something you kind of had in your life, from the beginning? Kind of like me, I grew up watching Star Wars, probably in my crib. Where did you kind of start with Star Wars? Where did your Star Wars story start?
I think for me, it was in my teens.
Okay.
I did. Oh, my cat is meowing. I did see the original trilogy when I was little, but I don't remember much of it. So I don't know. At that point, it didn't impress me. But when I was a teen and I saw the prequels,
okay,
that's when it started. So now, of course, I can appreciate the original trilogy as well. But when we talk about the beginning of the obsession, that was definitely the prequels.
Gotcha. So were there I'm sorry, my words aren't coming to me. What was the first kind of Star Wars movie that you saw in film? Were you at the theater, or is it something you just kind of had at your house and you were like, this is awesome? Did you have that clicking point with it?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, and I think the clicking point was episode 2.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Probably my favorite.
Episode 2, yeah.
That hit.
I remember I was watching it with my best friend, and both of us were like, okay, this is very, very, very good. We have a feeling we're going to be fans of this for a long time.
and for that film being hated so much in the community, you have good taste, because I love that film.
No, it's great. I think we love most what we grew up with. Or consciously understanding Star Wars. That's usually where your favorite movies would lay. But what I'm noticing, that people who grew up with original trilogy, that's their favorite. People who grew up with the prequels, it's the prequels. But if you look at younger people, like teens now, sequels are their favorite.
Yeah,
The
that's right.
AOT is a little bit slow and a little bit boring. So like, yeah, that's this Kylo Ren is it and everything. So it's so funny. So that's why I think it's wrong to hate it. It's just everyone's different. So whatever speaks to you. Well, I'm not gonna lie, Anakin was probably one of my earliest crushes. That has something to do with it.
Right.
Maybe, but not just that.
Well,
because
I think every teen boy at that time, Padme, was the same thing. Of course.
Yeah, so
I mean, Natalie Portman.
whatever it takes, yeah, to get you to Star Wars.
That's right. So you sing, you act, and you're a creator. Do you think Star Wars content is kind of the bigger goal for you, or do you think that doing cosplay and your film experience is just a stepping stone to something maybe not Star Wars related?
Well, cosplay, so it's in the borderline of hobby and work for me because just it overlaps every now and then. So Star Wars is my favorite universe along with Blade Runner universe. So of course, professionally, I would love to be working in either of them or both of them. And I did some artwork already with Lucasfilm and as Ahsoka, and I did some Blade Runner covers as as their main character from the comic books. So I already tapped in there just a little bit, and of course that's the ultimate goal, to be working with those universes and studios and whatever it is.
Right.
In whatever capacity, as an actor, as a co-creator, I don't know where life's gonna take me, what's gonna happen. But yeah, and ultimately I want to do my original stories. I want to play my original characters, because I know that there are some movies and shows out there that are incredible, and the characters are just so great, and I cannot wait to bring those to people as well, and to make them love them as much as they do love Star Wars.
Well, then that's actually a perfect segue into my kind of wrapping up question. Tell us kind of what's on the horizon for you. Do you think you have something big kind of already in the works, or are you going to lay low just for a little bit, kind of let this Fulcrum stuff, the wave that's coming at you right now of positivity, are you going to let it die down some, or is there something already in the works? What do you have?
I have a very bad trait. I can't rest. I do not know how to rest, so I can just stay low and do nothing. Even though the positivity is coming, I feel like, okay, that's done. What's next? What are we doing? So I'm shooting a music video tomorrow. Oh,
wow.
Yes.
3 days after this film, shooting a music video already. That's incredible.
Well, I have to be. We shot last week, and now this is third day.
Oh, gotcha.
Tomorrow. Yeah, so I just like to be creative and do things. So that's that. And also we just recently shot a pilot for a TV show, and it's being pitched right now. So we're waiting to hear back. Hopefully it'll be out there somewhere on Netflix or HBO, whatever.
Wow.
Somewhere out there, and I play an incredible character. I'm obsessed with her. So there's always something going on. As far as the Star Wars goes, I'm already planning the next Ahsoka short film, because I know it was just 5 minutes, and I want to do a 15-minute film that will expand a little bit of what you've seen in Fulcrum.
Wow. So this is kind of well, it says it in the title. It's a trailer maybe for this bigger Ahsoka project.
Yeah, I can't pull off the entire feature film by myself with 2 other people helping me, so it's just not possible. But
right.
If anyone has a spare $1 million, come on over.
Or a very close contact to Dave Filoni. We're talking maybe like his wife.
Even that might not help. Like, can we sneak on your set for a little bit?
Right.
Yeah. So instead, what we can feasibly do and do well, we can do a 15-minute series, 15-minute snippets that all together combined with like a Fulcrum mini series or something that will tell a story. So I still have to think it through really well, because again, we need resources, people. It's all not that easy, but I want to do it because it's just so fun.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Rei, so much for joining me today for this interview. It was super insightful into your film, and it's just always great getting to hang out with you in these last 2 interviews and getting to exchange some messages. To even set these up was a great experience. So tell us, what can the AAC universe do to further support you, your projects, and the things that you have going on in the future, what can we do to get these things moving for you?
I have a Ko-fi account and I have a lot of merchandise there. I have posters and prints, pins, and I also have a new epic pin coming out this Friday. You're gonna be the first ones to hear about it, so check it out. It's totally epic, and if you've seen Fulcrum, you'll know what it is. So yeah, if you want to support me, you can always DM me on Instagram and find Ko-fi link in my bio. And that's a great way to support what I do, because everything I make out of that store goes back into the projects for you.
For sure. And you got to have the money to do the projects. So definitely,
yes,
this is going to be a big help if you can go over there, support this. If you enjoyed the film, make sure that you're supporting the filmmaker and the actors.
Plus, I always put some money towards cat rescues, and everyone who follows me knows that because I'm a big animal lover. So a part of that will go to help kitties. But you're already so supportive. You invited me to talk to me about my stuff. It means a lot. So I really appreciate that. You just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're great. I think your content is so professional. I hope your channel grows a lot, because the way you do your homework and you edit everything, and it's just so concise, precise, professional. So just keep growing, keep going, and I'll support you as much as I can too.
Well, thank you so much for that and for those kind words. Rei, it's been truly a pleasure. Thank you to everyone for watching this video. Make sure to head over and watch Fulcrum. A link to the video is in the description, so head over there, leave a like, subscribe to Rei's channel. It's growing. It's probably doubled since the time of Fulcrum. And yeah, just show some love on the film in the comments. Tell her how awesome the film is, so that way she continues to do these awesome projects. And with that, do you have any last minute closing things that you want to say to anybody out there?
Yes, I want to thank everyone for our support and for all the kind words. And remember that we're all in one community, and we have to support each other and uplift each other, because it's tough to put yourself out there. So whatever you do creatively, you're not alone, and there are people who will appreciate you and who will be with you and on your side. And may the force be with you.
May the force be with you too. And we'll go ahead and end this. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.